The rim rattled like a death knell as my shot clanged off the iron, the final buzzer slicing through the arena like a knife to the gut, sealing not just the loss of the championship, but the fracture in my soul. Jordan's eyes met mine across the court, wide with the same raw betrayal that clawed at my chest. His jersey soaked in sweat and tears we couldn't afford to shed. In that frozen heartbeat, as the crowd's roar turned to a mocking echo, I knew. We'd let them win, the families who'd sworn to tear us apart. But damn if it didn't feel like we'd already lost everything worth fighting for. It started months earlier, back when the air in Seattle hummed with that crisp Pacific Northwest promise of fall. Rain-slicked streets reflecting neon signs from the coffee shops and dive bars that dotted Capitol Hill. I was Alex Rivera, 22, a junior guard for the University of Washington Huskies, scraping by on scholarships and the kind of grit that comes from growing up in a cramped apartment in East LA where dreams were as fragile as the bus schedules you chased. Basketball wasn't just a game. It was my ticket out, my rebellion against a dad who'd walked out when I was 10 and a mom who worked double shifts at the diner. Her hands cracked from endless dishwater. But that September, when Jordan Hayes transferred in from UCLA, tall, broad-shouldered, with skin like polished mahogany and eyes that held storms, I didn't know he was about to rewrite my entire playbook. Practice that first week was brutal, Coach Harlan barking orders like a drill sergeant on steroids, his clipboard a weapon aimed at our collective egos. "Rivera, you're telegraphing your crossovers like a goddamn amateur hour," he'd bellow, and I'd grit my teeth, channeling the fire that had gotten me this far. Jordan slotted in as point, his handles silky smooth, vision on the court sharper than a hawk's. We clicked immediately, unspoken chemistry that turned our drills into poetry. He'd fake left, I'd cut right. I'd drive baseline, he'd be there for the alley-oop. Off the court, it was quieter. Shared Gatorades after laps, playlists swapped on Spotify. His heavy on old-school hip-hop, mine laced with indie rock that screamed my hidden truths. I hadn't come out yet. Not to the team, not to mom back home, who still sent care packages with Saint medallions and notes about finding a nice girl. In the locker room, the air thick with Axe body spray and bravado, queerness was the elephant no one named. But Jordan, he moved like he owned his skin. Easy laughs with the seniors. A wink for the cheer squad that never quite landed predatory. One night, after a scrimmage that left us both bruised and buzzing, we ended up at a hole-in-the-wall taqueria off campus. The kind with plastic chairs and salsa that burned like regret. "Man, you move like you've got secrets," he said, peeling back the foil on his carnitas burrito, steam rising like a confession. His voice was low, threaded with that southern drawl from Atlanta roots. Warm as bourbon, sharp as a switchblade. I laughed it off, shoving a chip in my mouth to buy time. Secrets? Nah, just trying not to eat the bench. But my pulse betrayed me, hammering against my ribs as our knees brushed under the table. That touch lingered, electric, and when our eyes locked over the candle flicker from a half-melted votive, something shifted. We talked for hours, about his mom, a single parent who'd raised him on gospel choirs and the dream of March Madness. About my abuela's stories of crossing the border, whispers of resilience that fueled my jump shot. By the time we stumbled back to the dorms, the rain had stopped, leaving the city glistening under street lamps like it was in on our secret. That was the spark. Over the next weeks, it built slow, like a fast break you savor. Study sessions in the library turned into late-night walks along Lake Washington, the water lapping at the shore like it was urging us on. He'd sling an arm around my shoulders after a win, casual to the world but loaded for me. His thumb tracing a circle on my collarbone that sent shivers down my spine. And God, the kisses. Our first stolen behind the equipment shed, tasting of mint gum and adrenaline. His hands framing my face like I was something sacred. "Alex," he'd murmur against my lips. "Your trouble I didn't know I needed." It was romantic, yeah. Stolen moments in coffee shops where we'd lace fingers under the table, playlists becoming love letters. But it was real, grounded in the sweat and strategy of the court. We were partners, on and off, him pushing me to visualize plays, me coaxing out his vulnerabilities, the fears of not measuring up in a family legacy of athletes. But America being America, shadows loomed. Jordan's family flew up for the home opener against Oregon. A sold-out Key Arena pulsing with purple and gold. His dad, Marcus Hayes, was a towering ex-NBA vet, all salt and pepper beard and Rolex gleam, the kind of black excellence that commanded rooms. His mom, Elena, softer but no less formidable, with a Bible in her purse and eyes that saw through facades. They doted on him post-game, Jordan's 30 points lighting up the scoreboard like fireworks, but I caught the undercurrent. The way Marcus gripped his shoulder a beat too long, whispering about legacy and expectations. We met them at a steakhouse downtown, the air heavy with aged beef and aged resentments. I was nervous, smoothing my button down like it could iron out the truth bubbling under my skin. "This is Alex, my backcourt partner," Jordan introduced, his hand brushing mine under the table. A lifeline. Marcus sized me up, handshake crushing. "Heard you're carrying the team on those skinny legs, son." Elena smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes, her gaze flicking between us like she was piecing a puzzle. Dinner was a minefield. Talk turned to futures. Scouts circling, pro contracts dangling like carrots. "Jordan's got the shot at the league," Marcus boomed. "But he needs focus, no distractions." The word hung, and when Jordan squeezed my thigh under the table, I felt the warning. Later, walking them to their hotel, Elena pulled me aside. "You're a good influence on the court, Alex. But off it, families like ours, we protect what's sacred." Her voice was kind, but the implications sliced. I was the distraction, the unspoken sin. That night, Jordan came to my room, the door clicking shut like a verdict. We collapsed onto the bed, his head on my chest, heartbeat syncing with mine. "They're old school," he said, tracing patterns on my arm. "Dad's got his Bible Belt hang-ups, but they'll come around." I wanted to believe him, buried my doubts in the curve of his neck, the way he whispered my name like a prayer. But cracks were forming. Texts from Marcus about straightening priorities. Elena's calls laced with scripture. And my own family? Mom had finally visited, her rosary beads clicking like a metronome during Mass at St. Mary's. She adored Jordan at first. Such a strong young man. But when she caught us lingering too long in a goodbye hug, her face shuddered. "Mijo, be careful. Love's a gift, but the wrong kind. It breaks everything." The season ramped up, games blurring into a rhythm of flights, hotels, and hotel room confessions. We stole time in anonymous cities. A Ferris wheel in Chicago where he kissed me at the top, the world tilting below. A midnight run on Miami Beach, sand between our toes, waves crashing like applause for our secrets. On court, we were unstoppable, our pick and rolls dissecting defenses, assists piling up like evidence of our bond. Teammates ribbed us good-naturedly. Rivera and Hayes, the bromance brothers. But coach noticed, pulling me aside after a blowout win. "Whatever magic you two got, bottle it. But don't let it spill over. Team's only as strong as its focus." Then came the betrayal's first whisper. Thanksgiving break. Jordan headed home to Atlanta, I to LA. Texts flew like lifelines. Misuse, heart emojis, blurry selfies from family dinners. But his grew sparse, then silent. When he finally called, voice thick, it shattered me. "Dad found out, Alex. About us." He flipped. Said if I don't end it, he'll pull funding for the nil deals, talk to the boosters. Mom's crying, quoting Leviticus like it's a death sentence. My world tilted. "Jordan, we fight this. Together." But he was crumbling. The boy who'd faced down zone presses now folding under paternal thunder. "I can't lose them, man. Not yet. Just space. For the team. Space." The word tasted like ash. I flew back to Seattle alone, the plane's hum mocking my isolation. Practices without him were hollow. My shots clanging, passes sailing wild. He returned changed. Polite assists, no post-game hangs. Eyes avoiding mine like I was a ghost. The team felt it, the fracture rippling through huddles. Rumors swirled, Jordan dodging questions, me snapping at drills. Coach called a closed door. "Whatever's eating you too, bury it. Regionals are in 2 weeks." but burying felt like dying. I confronted him in the empty gym one midnight, the echo of my voice too loud. This isn't space, Jay, it's exile. Your dad wins if we quit. He paced, shadow long under the fluorescence. You don't get it, Alex. My family's all I had after Mom's cancer scare last year. They're terrified I'll end up like Uncle Ray. Gay, alone, disowned. His voice cracked, and for a moment, I saw the boy beneath the armor. I stepped close, cupping his face. We're not alone. Not if we hold on. Our lips met, desperate, a reclaiming. But as we broke apart, panting, he whispered, I can't. Not now. The betrayal deepened at regionals, against Gonzaga in Spokane. We scraped a win, but Jordan's turnovers, uncharacteristic fumbles, cost us momentum. Post-game, Marcus was there, clapping his son on the back, but his glare at me was ice. Good game, Rivera. Keep it professional. Elena hovered, her hand on Jordan's arm like a tether. That night, in the team hotel, I overheard them in the lobby. Son, that boy's poison. Cut him loose, or the league dream dies. Jordan's reply was muffled, but the defeat in it gutted me. I spiraled, nights scrolling old texts, mornings puking from the ache. Mom called, sensing it. Mijo, come home. Whatever storm this is, family heals it. But family was the storm. Teammates rallied awkwardly, Darius slipping me protein bars, whispering, we got your back, bro. But isolation clawed deeper. I threw myself into film study, visualizing plays where Jordan and I synced again, but reality mocked. He roomed with the seniors now, our lockers worlds apart. Finals loomed, the Elite Eight against Duke and Anaheim, neutral ground, but my home turf felt like enemy lines. Jordan avoided me entirely, his plays mechanical, our chemistry evaporated. We lost the semi by 5. A heartbreaker where my game winner rimmed out, Jordan's missed free throw the dagger. The bus ride back was funeral quiet, rain lashing the windows like accusations. In the back, alone, I texted him, we were unstoppable. What if we still are? No reply, days blurred into despair. Me skipping weights, staring at the ceiling, the championship dream curdling. Coach benched me for a tune-up game. Get your head right, Rivera. Mom flew up unannounced, her hug smelling of lavender and worry. Over foe in the international district, she pried, this Jordan? He's the one hurting you? I broke then, spilling it all, the love, the family's walls. She wept, clutching my hand. Love like that, Alex? Is God's design, even if they don't see it. Fight for it, but fight smart. Don't lose yourself. Her words ignited something, a humanistic fire, the kind that says redemption isn't in revenge but reclamation. I cornered Jordan after practice, the gym emptying like a stage clearing for our scene. I'm done pretending, I said, voice steady despite the quake. Your dad's wrong. Our families, they're scared of joy they can't control. But us? We're the legacy. One more shot. The Final Four scrimmage tomorrow. Play like you mean it or walk away for good. He searched my face, tears brimming. Alex, I betrayed you. Folded like a coward. I pulled him close, foreheads touching. Betrayal's only final if we let it be. Return to me, Jay. For the game. For us. He nodded, a dam breaking. That scrimmage? Magic reborn. Our passes telepathic. Shots swishing like symphonies. Word spread. Coach reinstated me, the team buzzing with renewed fire. But the real battle was off-court. Jordan confronted his parents over FaceTime. Voice raw. I love him, Dad. And basketball. You can't forbid both. Marcus thundered. Elena pleaded, but Jordan held. Disown me if you must. But I'm choosing life. Full, real life. My mom, bless her, called Elena direct. 2 mothers protecting sons? Let's protect their hearts instead. It wasn't instant absolution. Tensions simmered, ultimatums whispered. But cracks formed in the walls, light seeping through. The Final Four arrived in Houston, the Dome a coliseum of dreams. We faced Kentucky in the semis, the crowd a sea of blue and Wildcats snarling. Jordan and I, unchained. Our opening possession. He threaded a bounce pass through double team. I drained a three, pointing to him like a vow. The game swung on our synergy. His block on a fast break. My steal feeding his dunk that shook the rafters. Down by 2 with seconds left. Buzzer beater territory. Jordan drove. Kicked to me wide open. The shot hung eternal, swish. Overtime. We won by 3, the bench erupting. Jordan tackling me in a hug that blurred the line between team and us. The championship against Villanova. Electric. Brutal. Their press suffocated us early. Marcus watching from courtside. Face a mask but eyes conflicted. Elena sat with mom. 2 women united in silent prayer. Halftime down 8, locker room a pressure cooker. Jordan pulled me aside. This is it, Alex. For every time they tried to forbid us. I nodded, our clasped hands a pact. Second half. Fury unleashed. We clawed back. My N1s fueling the fire. His threes from logo range silencing doubters. Tied at the horn, the rim rattled like that distant memory. But this time, as I launched from the wing, Jordan boxing out like a sentinel. It kissed net. The buzzer wailed victory. Confetti raining like absolution. The team piled on, but Jordan and I lingered. Arms locked, tears mixing with sweat. In the roar, his whisper cut through. We returned. To each other. To this. Post-game, Marcus approached, handshake tentative. Proud of you, son. Both of you. No full embrace, not yet, but a door cracked. Elena hugged us both, murmuring. Forgive an old fool's fears. Mom beamed, her saint medallion glinting like approval. That night, in a quiet hotel suite, Jordan and I sat on the balcony. Houston lights sprawling below like possibilities. No grand gestures. Just his head on my shoulder, our fingers intertwined. What now? He asked, voice soft. Now, we build. Off the court, too. Therapy for families. Nil deals that scream authenticity. And us, unforbidden. He laughed, that storm-eyed laugh, and kissed me slow, the city humming our soundtrack. It's been a year since that game. The league scouts still circle, but we've pivoted. Jordan to coaching clinics for queer youth. Me to sports psych grad work, weaving our story into something bigger. Families heal slow. Dinners with Marcus now include bad jokes. Elena's Bible verses laced with grace. Betrayals scar, but they teach. Love's not a solo drive. It's the assist that wins championships. And in the quiet moments, when doubt creeps, I remember the rims rattle, the buzzers cry. Not as loss, but as the hook that pulled us back. Together, we're the final game that never ends. The fallout from Thanksgiving lingered like a bad hangover. The kind that blurs your vision and sours every sip. Back on campus, the Huskies' practice facility felt like a mausoleum. Echoes of squeaking sneakers mocking the silence between Jordan and me. I'd catch glimpses of him in the weight room, spotting for Darius, his laugh forced, biceps flexing under the strain of unspoken weights. Our lockers, once side-by-side talismans, now bookend the row like estranged bookends holding up a shelf of what-ifs. I threw myself into routine, a desperate bid for normalcy. Dawn runs along the Burke-Gilman Trail, the trail's gravel crunching underfoot like bones under pressure. Film sessions till my eyes burned, diagramming Duke's diamond press as if outsmarting it could mend my heart. But sleep evaded me, nights spent replaying his voice. Space. The word a loop in my brain's cruel playlist. Teammates noticed, of course. Big Mike, our center with a teddy bear gut and a heart to match, cornered me in the showers. Yo, Alex, you and Jay beefing? Team's off without that wizard shit you do. I mumbled something about midterms, but his side-eye said he wasn't buying. Jordan, meanwhile, armored up. He roomed with the upperclassmen now, crashing at their off-campus house in Fremont. Beer pong parties and group chats that excluded me. On court, he shone solo. Silky fades, no-look passes to anyone but me. It stung, that deliberate distance, like he'd quarantined our chemistry to protect the team. Coach Harlan, ever the tactician, paired us sparingly in drills, his grunts of "pick it up," laced with frustration. Rivera, Hayes, y'all synced last month like Siamese twins. Now it's like you're playing checkers in a chess game. Off-court isolation bred paranoia. I'd scroll his Insta, shirtless gym selfies captioned grind mode. Stories of family Zooms where Marcus beamed like a proud patriarch. No tags for me, no late-night DMs. One evening, drowning in a solo pint at the college and pub, the wood-paneled walls closing in with their hipster irony, I caved and texted. Miss our walks. Lake's lonely. Dots danced, then nothing. The beer turned bitter. I walked back in the drizzle, Seattle's perpetual mist mirroring my mood. Mom's visit was the lifeline I didn't know I needed. She arrived on a red-eye from LAX, her carry-on stuffed with tamales, and that unyielding optimism forged in abuelas across generations. We met at Pike Place, the market's chaos a bomb. Fishmongers hurling salmon like acrobats, the scent of fresh chowder cutting through the chill. Over steaming bowls at a waterfront bench, she eyed me sharp. Me, Joe, your light's dim. This boy, Jordan, he dimming it too. I cracked open, the words tumbling like market produce. The kisses that tasted like forever, the family's iron fists. She listened, stirring her soup slow, tears salting the broth. Alex, love's like pupusas, warm, filling, but the world tries to flatten it. Your abuela faced worse for less. Remember her stories? Crossing deserts for a chance. It's your desert. She cupped my cheek, calluses rough from years at the diner. But don't wander alone. Call him. Or call me. Always. Her pep talk fueled a fragile fire. I hit the court harder, channeling ache into arcs, swishes that whispered redemption. But regionals loomed like a guillotine, the spoken arena a neutral battleground where loyalties would bleed. The flight east was tense, the team charter humming with pregame hype. Playlists blasting Drake, card games escalating to roars. Jordan sat across the aisle, headphones in, but our eyes snagged once. His stormy, mine pleading, a ghost of a smile, then gone. Gonzaga game day. The Kennel Club faithful a wall of red, barking chants that rattled the rafters. We started sluggish, their length disrupting our rhythm. Zag's big swatting shots like flies. Jordan and I, parallel lines, never intersecting. He'd call a screen for Mike. I'd flash for Darius. Assists tallied, but no poetry. Halftime down 10. Coach's whiteboard a frenzy of X's and O's. Rivera cut the freelancing. Hayes, trust your guard. Trust. The word hung like smoke. Second half, we rallied. My steals sparking fast breaks. Jordan's mid-range game steady as a pulse. But the turnovers crept. A telegraphed pass picked by their point. Jordan's charge call a split-second hesitation. Final minute, up by 2, I drove baseline. Kicked to him open in the corner. He pump-faked, unnecessary, fatal, drawing the foul but clanking the freebie. Tie game, their buzzer beater a prayer answered. OT. We eked it out on a Mike putback, but victory tasted Pyrrhic. The locker room cheers hollow. Outside, Marcus waited, arm around Jordan like ownership. Tough one, son. But you fought. His eyes slid to me, cool appraisal. Elena fluttered nearby, her smile tight as she handed out Gatorades. You boys played with heart. Heart. If only she knew the half-buried one. That night, in the sterile team hotel, I paced my room, the spokesman review headlines blurring on my phone. Huskies advance, but backcourt bond tested. Tested? Shattered. I slipped down to the lobby vending machine run, craving caffeine's false clarity. There they were, Jordan and his parents, clustered by the fireplace, flames casting long shadows. Marcus's voice carried, low thunder. That loss almost? Sloppy. Can't afford distractions, Jay. Not with Duke next. Elena chimed soft. He's right, baby. Focus on the prize. God rewards the pure. Jordan's back to me, shoulders slumped. It's not that simple, Mom. Alex, he's part of why we won tonight. Silence. Then Marcus. Part? Boy, he's the poison. I see how you look at him. Cut it loose or the dream dies. Boosters talk. I make calls. Jordan's reply was a mumble, defeated. I backed away, heart hammering, betrayal's blade twisting deeper. Poison. The word echoed up the elevator, into my dreams. Nightmares of empty courts, Jordan fading like a bad fadeaway. Back in Seattle, the break before finals was a pressure cooker. Practices amped to fever pitch, coach importing guest scouts for mock interviews. Jordan aced them, his charm dialed up. But with me? Polite nods, like we were acquaintances at a funeral. I confronted the mirror one morning, bags under my eyes like bruises. Fight or fold? Mom's voice echoed, your desert, and I chose fight, but smart. I hit up the team's counselor, Dr. Patel, her office a sanctuary of succulents and soft lamps. Sounds like grief, Alex, she said, leaning forward. Betrayal's a death. Mourn it, then rebirth. Mourning looked like journaling. Pages filled with rants at Marcus, pleas to Jordan, odes to what we'd lost. It looked like team bonding. Pick-up games with the walk-ons, where laughter cracked the ice. Darius pulled me aside after one. Heard whispers, man. Whatever, we family here. Purple blood. It humanized the hurt, reminded me queerness wasn't isolation, but a thread in the team's tapestry. But the whispers grew. Locker room gossip about Jordan's Atlanta drama. My head case label. Coach called us in separately, me first. Rivera, talent's there, but heart's MIA. Fix it. Jordan next. I lingered outside, catching his exit. Harlan's voice booming. Don't let family bullshit bench your future. Bullshit. At least someone named it. Finals week, the Anaheim trip loomed, home soil, but enemy territory with Duke's aristocracy. Jordan and I boarded the plane last, seats assigned apart. But as takeoff hummed, he slid into the empty next to me, carry-on thumping down. Truce, he whispered, hand brushing mine. I nodded, throat tight. Truce. We didn't kiss, didn't confess. Just talked ball, dissecting Duke stars like old times. It was fragile, that bridge, but real. Hope flickered, dim but defiant. The truce held through touchdown in sunny SoCal, but Anaheim's sprawl felt like a funhouse mirror. Palm trees mocking my inner chill. Disneyland's Magic Kingdom a cruel juxtaposition to our fractured fairy tale. Hotel check-in was chaos. Freshmen hyped on room service, vets mapping bar crawls. Jordan and I shared an elevator ride up, awkward small talk about traffic, but his pinky hooked mine for a split second, electric, a Morse code of not over. That night, team dinner at a steakhouse in the OC. The air thick with prime rib and pregame nerves. Coach's toast rang earnest. This backcourt, Rivera, Hayes, you're the engine. Rev it. Eyes on us, expectant. Jordan clinked my glass first, his two engines laced with double meaning. Marcus and Elena were there too, flown in for the spectacle. Seats at the head table, a power move. Marcus dominated convo, regaling with ABA war stories, but his glances at Jordan carried freight. Behave. Post-dinner, as the group dispersed to arcades and in-and-out runs, I slipped out for air, the hotel's courtyard fountain bubbling like unshed tears. Footsteps. Jordan, jacket slung over shoulder. Walk. We wandered to a nearby park, the night air balmy, stars faint against LA's glow. Benches under jacarandas, petals like confetti from a forgotten party. I'm sorry, he started, voice gravel. Dad's grip, it's vice-tight. After Mom's remission, he sees threats everywhere. Me loving a guy? That's apocalypse in his playbook. I leaned back, staring at the canopy. And you? What's your playbook say? He exhaled, long. Says I folded. Betrayed the one person who saw me whole. But Alex, I miss us. The real us. The admission hung, vulnerable. I turned, cupping his jaw, stubble rough. Familiar. Miss the passes? Or the pauses after? He laughed wet, pulling me in. Our kiss was slow burn, tasting of steak and salvation. Hands roaming safe, waist, neck, no further. Both, he murmured. All of it. We returned to the hotel buzzed on possibility, but dawn brought reality's slap. Practice at Honda Center, Duke scouts lurking like wolves. Our sync flickered, hesitant at first, then fluid, a hesitant fast break gaining speed. Coach nodded approval. Teammates hooped. But Marcus watched from the bleachers, arms crossed, a storm cloud in khakis. Game day against Duke. The arena a cauldron. Blue Devils faithful chanting like a cult. National TV, nil cameras everywhere, our every dribble monetized. Tip off and we exploded, Jordan's outlet to my wing three, crowd gasp. But Duke adjusted. Their press of vice. Turnovers mounting, my handles slipping under pressure. Halftime down 12. Locker room a war council. Trust the guard. Coach yelled, pointing at Jordan. Me. Second half surge. We chipped away, my drives drawing doubles. Kicking to Jordan for kickouts. Tied with 4 left. Chaos. Screen set. Pick and roll perfection. He drives, I flare. Catch and shoot. Brick. Their run up 6. Timeout, huddle tight. Jordan's hand on my shoulder. One play at a time. Final possession, down 2, he penetrates, double comes, shovels to me baseline. Open. Launch. Iron. Clang. OT? No buzzer steal, but too late. Lost by 4. The domes roar a dirge. Post-game presser, Jordan fielded questions solo. His team effort monotone. I showered endless, water-scalding sins. Outside, Marcus clapped his back. Chin up, champ. Pros don't cry over semis. Elena fussed, but her eyes darted to me. Pity? Judgment? Mom, who'd driven down, waited in the family lounge, her hug fierce. Proud, Mijo. Win or lose, you played true. That night, despair crested. Jordan texted, hotel bar? We met in the dim lounge, jazz piano tinkling irony. Bourbon neat for him, soda for me. Clear heads needed. Dad's pulling strings, he confessed, swirling ice. Talked to Harlan about personal issues affecting play. Boosters whispering trades. Betrayal's sequel, paternal edition. I slammed my glass. Then fight back, or let him win everything. He recoiled, then softened. I did fight once. Last summer, came out to them after a party. Dad threw a chair. Mom locked herself in prayer. I backed down, promised change. But you, Alex, you make me want to rewrite. Tears tracked his cheeks. I thumbed them away. Rewrite with me. No more space. We talked till closing. Plans sketched on napkins. Couples counseling apps. Queer athlete networks like you can play. Hope. Tentative. But dawn practice called, and with it, the Elite 8 ghost. Back in Seattle, the tune-up loss to a mid-major stung me bench third quarter. Coach's head right, a euphemism for fix your broken. I spiraled deeper. Skipped meals, runs turning to rants at the lake. Waves lapping accusations. Dr. Patel upped sessions. Anger's valid, Alex. Channel to agency. Agency looked like outreach, emailing athlete ally, connecting without gay pros like Jason Collins. Their stories, beacons, came out, came alive. Teammates stepped up. Group chat memes tagged Rivera Redemption. Darius dragging me to karaoke, belting Eye of the Tiger off-key catharsis. Even coach softened. Post-drill chats about his own divorce scars. Loves a full-court press. Kid. Press back. Jordan's thaw accelerated. Shared rides to weights, playlists merging again, his trap beats with my Bon Iver ballads. One evening, equipment shed redux. Kisses heated but chaste, boundaries honored. I'm all in, he vowed. But family's first. His confrontation came midweek, FaceTime from his dorm. Marcus's face filling the screen, Elena beside. I hovered off cam, heart in throat. Jordan straight. I love Alex. On court, off. Forbid it, and you lose me. Marcus thundered. Sin. Distraction. Elena wept. Baby, pray on it. But Jordan held. Prayer won't change truth. Support us or step back. Line went dead. Silence deafening. He emerged pale but standing. Your turn, he said, handing me my phone. Mom answered on first ring. Me, Joe? I spilled us the pain, the plea. She paused, then. I've suspected, and I love you fiercer for it. Fly home, we'll talk. Invite him. Grace unbidden. The final 4 scrimmage. Electric. Our pick and rolls dissected the scout team. Assists flowing like wine. Coach's grin. Bottled it, boys. Word leaked. Press sniffing, backcourt romance? But we owned it quiet, focusing fire. Families converged. Mom arriving with tamales? Elena tentative texts to her. 2 moms, 1 game? Marcus gruff but present. Cracks widened, humanity peeking through dogma. Houston bound. The charter soared on wings of what-ifs turned certainties. Jordan's hand in mine under blankets. Returned, yes, to each other. Houston's humidity hit like a wet towel as we deplaned into the Reliant complex. The dome's Teflon roof gleaming like a promise under Texas sun. Final 4 frenzy pulsed. Fan zones with foam fingers the size of egos, ESPN trucks idling like predators. Our hotel, a gleaming tower downtown, buzzed with arrivals. Kentucky's blue bloods strutting. Our purple contingent quieter, hungrier. Jordan and I checked in side by side. Keys jangling like lucky charms. Room 1422, he said, bumping my shoulder. Ours? Separate. Per team rules, but after curfew? We'd navigate. Unpack, then team meeting. Coach's war room breakdown, projectors flickering with Wildcats tendencies. Calipari's press, their Biggs hook fading left. Rivera Hayes' engine starts tomorrow, Harlan decreed. Nods rippled. Darius' fist bumped us. Unleash the beasts. Afternoon free. We escaped to Discovery Green. The park's lawns dotted with joggers and food trucks, skyline sharp against prairie sky. Tacos al pastor from a vendor, spicy sweet, eaten cross-legged on grass. Remember Miami Beach? Jordan asked, lime juice on his chin. I wiped it, thumb lingering. Waves and whispers. This feels bigger. Talk turned deep, post-college visions. Him to G League, me grad school, but together. Queer pro league, he joked. I countered. Or just us. Building homes in Seattle rain. Evening. Family mixer in the hotel ballroom, awkward diplomacy. Mom and Elena bonded over coffee, swapping cancer survivor tales. Resilience's universal language. Marcus loomed, scotch in hand, cornering Jordan. This spectacle. Win it, prove focus. But softer. Heard you stood up. Takes balls, son. No apology, but thaw, humanity's first concession. My mom pulled me aside. Me, Joe, they're scared too. Like me once. Love bridges. Semis night against Kentucky. The dome a thunderhead, 70,000 strong. Blue UKC clashing our purple island. National anthem swelled. Fighters' flags unfurled. My pulse synced to the bass drum. Tip to us, Jordan outlets long. I streak wing, cash 3. Roar. Their answer, run of 3s up 8 early. Press suffocates. Turnovers like leaks in a dam. Huddle at media TO, coach's eyes fire. Breathe. Trust. Jordan's grip on my arm. Us. Second quarter, we flip. My steal to his breakaway dunk, rim groaning. Halftime up 2, but fragile. Locker. Film quick hits. Then circle. Darius praise. For brothers. Amen. Third. Kentucky storms. Their guards slicing us. Down 6, timeout. Jordan. Pick for me. Screen sets, I flare. Catch kick out. Splash. Tie. Momentum swings. Our bench erupts. Fourth, foul trouble hits, me too deep, Jordan 3. Ice in veins. Final 2 minutes, up 4. They trap, I split, lob to Mike, flush. Clock ticks. Free throws clinch. Buzzer. 78-72. Upset etched in confetti, purple blizzard. Court storm. Teammates mob, but Jordan and I lock eyes across chaos. Triumph's private code. Post-game. Marcus hugs him fierce. That's my boy. Elena tears to mom. Miracle. Presser glow. Backcourt magic. Reporters probe. Jordan. Partners in every sense. Wink at me, bold. Aftermath, hotel party subdued. Adrenaline crash. Jordan sneaks to my room post-midnight. Door soft click. We collapse, uniforms shed for sweats. Replaying on his phone. That lob, he laughs. I trace his scar from a childhood fall. That heart. Talk turns tender. Fears voiced. What if championship breaks us? Then we rebuild. Sleep claims us entwined. Chaste sanctuary. Championship eve. Villanova. Blue and white juggernaut. Philly grit, Jay Wright's precision. Walk through crisp, our rolls humming. Media day. Questions veer personal. Rumors of romance? I deflect. Love the game. Love my team. Jordan Boulder. Authenticity fuels wins. Families dine together. Marcus toasts. To legacies evolved. Elena's hand on mine. Blessings, Alex. Mom beams. Walls crumble. Game night. Dome electric. Neutral but electric. America's basketball cathedral. Villanova tips win. They strike first. Threes raining. Down 10 quick. Press again a monster. First TO. Adjust. Second quarter, we counter Jordan's vision carving lanes. My finishes at rim. Halftime down 8. But pulse steady. Locker intermission. No speeches, just truth circle. Jordan. For every forbid, every doubt we return. Nods, hugs. Third explosion, Mayan 1 sparks run up 2. Their bench calls TO, we press. Fights in paint, elbows high. Tied at horn. Overtime, brutality. Fouls mount, me 4, Jordan 5. Clock under minute, down 2. Possession hours. Jordan drives baseline, double collapses. Kick to me, wing. World slows, defender closing, rim mocking. Launch. Arc perfect, swish. Lead 1. Their shot airball. Free throws ice it. Buzzer. 92-91. Champions. Confetti apocalypse. Trophy hoist, purple tears. Jordan and I, arms locked, MVP chance duel. Families swarm. Marcus lifts us both. Proud. Elena. Mom embrace. Our boys. That night, balcony perch. City lights, medals heavy. We did it, he whispers. Returned. Kisses soft, future bright. The morning after confetti conquest dawned hazy. Houston's skyline smudged by victory's afterglow and a faint hangover from celebratory toasts. The team bus idled outside the hotel, engines purring like contented cats. As we boarded in a daze of high fives and half-packed duffels, Jordan slid into the seat beside me. Banned no more, rules bent for heroes. His championship ring glinting under the AC vents, a gold promise we'd earned through grit and grace. Final 4 to forever, he murmured, lacing our fingers under a shared blanket. The bus lurching toward the airport like a reluctant goodbye to our battlefield. The flight home was a floating fiesta. In-flight movies ignored for highlight reels on tablets, Darius narrating our game winner in slow-mo glory, and Rivera drains it like it's therapy. Laughter rippled, but quieter moments found us. Jordan's head on my shoulder, sketching post-grad maps on a napkin. His G-League tryout in Austin, my sports psych internship at UW. Commutes plotted like perfect pick and rolls. No more forbids, he said, voice low. Just assists. I kissed his temple, tasting salt of sweat long dried. And finishes. Seattle welcomed us rain-washed and radiant. Seattle-Tacoma thrumming with local media. King 5 cameras flashing. Fans in Huskies hoodies chanting our names. Mom and Elena waited at baggage claim. A duo of Midwestern meets Mexican fortitude. Bouquets in hand like peace offerings. Marcus hung back, his ex-NBA frame less imposing in the fluorescent hum. But when he clapped Jordan's shoulder, home, champ, the grip lingered paternal. Evolved. No full reckoning yet. Healing's a half-court game, patient shots. Parade day blurred into purple pandemonium. Convertible rides down University Way. Confetti cannons exploding like delayed fireworks. Students lining the Ave with signs. Hayes and Rivera. Love wins rings. We waved from the lead float. Arms raised in unison. The irony not lost. Our teamwork, now tabloid tease, but owned, unashamed. Jordan leaned close amid the roar. They see us now. All of us. Tears pricked. I nodded, the rain mixing with mist on my cheeks. Off-season settled soft, a exhale after sprint. Jordan's apartment in Capitol Hill became our nexus. Exposed brick walls echoing with vinyl spins. His mom's gumbo recipe simmering on the stove. Families visited in waves. Elena first, Bible tucked away, bringing collards and cautious questions. Tell me about your days, Alex? We cooked together. Her knife skills sharp as her wit, stories of Jordan's toddler tantrums easing into talks of faith reframed. God's love broader than pews. Marcus followed, gruff golf invites turning to courtside chats at Climate Pledge Arena, dissecting old tapes. That crossover? Pure. Like you too. No, I'm sorry spelled out, but action spoke. Nil endorsement for a queer youth camp, his signature on the dotted line. Mom flew up monthly, her diner shifts trimmed for grandbaby dreams, she joked about, though her eyes twinkled with real hope. Dinners at her Airbnbs, enchiladas verde and heartfelt interrogations. Jordan treats you right? We'd affirm. 3 hearts sinking over candlelight. Her rosary now a bracelet on my wrist, symbol of acceptance's quiet revolution. Betrayal's shadow lingered, though not as haunt, but teacher. Therapy became ritual. Weekly Zooms with a queer couples counselor, unpacking Marcus's fears, his own brother's disownment in the 80s. My abandonment echoes from Dad's ghost. Vulnerability's the real MVP. The doc quipped, and we leaned in, Jordan admitting his fold as survival, me forgiving it as growth. Sessions bled into dates. Hikes in the Olympics, fog-shrouded evergreens whispering resilience. Ferry rides to Bainbridge, Salish sea sparkling like absolution. Summer League tested us. Jordan's Austin showcase. Me tagging as support staff. Our hotel nights a bubble of banter and board games. No press of performance. He dropped 30 on the Mavericks D-League squad. Scouts buzzing. But post-game calls home? To me first. Nailed it for us. My internship kicked off fall. UW's Psych Lab, counseling athletes on mental minefields. Our story anonymized in case studies. Backcourt bonds as resilience model. Queer kids trickled in, inspired by headlines. You too made it okay to dream big and love bigger. Challenges crept, humanistic grit. A booster's anonymous email to coach. Distracted duo? Dismissed with Harlan's roar. They delivered rings. Back off. Jordan's sophomore cousin outed at family reunion. Marcus mediating with newfound nuance. Love's family business. My abuela, via mom's video calls from LA, sent a letter. Yellowed papal with cursive wisdom. Corazon no miente. Hearts don't lie. Abrazos for your Jordan. Tears soaked the ink. We framed it bedside. Winter brought full circle. New Year's at the Key Arena charity game. Alumni versus current. Us headlining. Jerseys retired in effigy. Crowd chant. One more. We delivered, buzzer beater redux, my shot off his dime. Rim singing sweet. Post-game. Families courtside. Marcus hoisting the net. Elena snapping pics. Mom leading Sweet Caroline off-key. Jordan pulled me aside. Spotlights dimming. This, us, is the legacy. Spring semester synced strides. His senior year captaincy. My thesis on emotional synergy in team sports. Data drawn from our tapes. Passes as metaphors for partnership. Dates deep and romantic. Picnics at Gasworks Park. Kites dancing like free doubts. Stargazing on Whidbey Island. Constellations mapping our map. Touches tender. Handholds and coffee lines. Forehead kisses at dorm doors. Love's language. Fluent now. Climax's echo faded into cadence. But one late-night scare tested. Jordan's knee tweak in pickup. MRI looming like old fears. Hospital wait. Sterile white. I held his hand. Whatever. We adapt. Clear bill strain, not snap. Relief's laugh. Even injuries assist. Reminds us fragile's fine. A year post-buzzer, we're woven. His G-League contract in Seattle. Storm's brother team. Ironic poetry. My master's defended. Job offer at a campus wellness center. Apartment shared now, bookshelves mingling our worlds. His basketball bios beside my Baldwin essays. Families fused. Joint Thanksgivings. Marcus carving turkey with Dad's old knife. He'd shown. Tentative. For the game. Elena and Mom plotting quinceanera dreams for future nieces. Betrayals? Scars, not shackles. Reminders that forbids forge fiercer returns. Humanistic arc. No tidy bows, but threads of grace. Love as verb, active, American in its messy pursuit. Jordan wakes me mornings with coffee and game on. Our code for whatever comes. And in quiet, When rain taps the window like applause, I know. We returned not just for the final game, but for every play after. Unforbidden, unbreakable.